1 Kings chapter 13. I'll read practically the entire chapter, but it's a story. I want us to take lessons from it. What are you learning from it? 1 Kings chapter 13. And then this happened. Just as Jeroboam was at the altar about to make an offering, the holy man came from Judah by God's command and preached. These were God's orders. To the altar. Altar, altar. God's message. A son will be born into David's family named Josiah. The priests from the shrines who are making offerings on you, he will sacrifice on you. Human bones burned on you. At the same time, he announced a sign. This is the proof God gives. The altar will split into pieces and the holy offerings spill into the dead. Let me just paraphrase. A prophet came to the king and was delivering a message that this is what God will do. Let's go on from verses 4. He says, when the king heard the message that the holy man preached against the altar at Bethel, he reached out to grab him, yelling, arrest him. But his arm was paralyzed and hung useless. At the same time, the altar broke apart and the holy offerings all spilled into the dirt. The very sign the holy man had announced by God's command. Let me also explain that a bit. What the prophet had come to say to the king, which probably the king did not believe, and which was a negative message as far as the king was concerned. Just as the man was saying it, the king was saying, no, the king wanted to arrest the man. But as he was trying to arrest him, the arm of the king was paralyzed and it hung useless. And at the same time, what the prophet had prophesied, and this was the message from the king, the thing happened. That was a sign that God was with this man of God. Lessons from this story. Let's listen to our pastor. The one in front.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I think this is a lesson in obedience. I think whenever God gives us an instruction, it's very easy for us in our human nature to just try to pick the part we want to do or rationalize things with God. We're always quick to play this role of trying to reason with God, and this passage is an example.
So at times in our lives, God will give us certain instructions. And unless God has changed his mind, the case of Abraham, for example, go and sacrifice your son. And let's say Abraham went to a higher prophet and said, prophet, this is what God told me to do. And the prophet said, I am standing as a prophet of God. Do not do that thing. And Abraham didn't do it. We wouldn't be reading about Abraham today. So whatever it is God has told us, we must hold on to it dearly and not allow anyone else to convince us otherwise.
The discernment to know the voice of your father. Because God can tell, even if this angel came to Abraham, but it must have been that discernment to be able to tell the word of God. And I can just cite an example. I remember God told me not to do something, and I wasn't doing it for a couple of months. And God came back to say, go ahead, you can do it. I'm like, no, get thee behind me. This is the voice of the devil, because God has told me not to do it. And I ran to my pastor then, the provincial pastor, and said, Pastor Kule, this is what, and he said, when God told you, was I there? I said, no. He said, so go listen to that voice. I didn't tell you. God did not send me to you. God told you by yourself. So sometimes God can tell you to do something and can come back to tell you don't do it anymore. Just like in this, in the story of Abraham. So the discernment is very, very key. Praise the Lord.
You guys mean so much to us. You pour so much into us every now and then, every Sunday, every day. I'm sure you pray for us every day. But this is a token of appreciation just to show how much we appreciate you. Pastor Me and Teddy, thank you so much.
This is for Pastor Mrs. Adisa. Thank you for your love, for your prayers. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Thank you so very much, church. We just want to say thank you. I'm, talking on behalf of all of us. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.